What if everything you thought you knew about attracting women was missing the mark? Most men spend their lives chasing the wrong things, flashing money, obsessing over looks, or trying to perfect their charm. But what if the real secret to building genuine attraction isn't about what you show, but what you understand? What if the key lies in tapping into the hidden psychological triggers that drive women's emotions, desires, and decisions, often without them even realizing it? Here's the truth. Women, like men, are guided by subconscious instincts, vulnerabilities, and emotional responses that operate beneath the surface. These are the invisible forces that shape attraction, connection, and even long-term relationships. The problem? Most men are completely unaware of these triggers, let alone how to use them in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. But today, that changes. We're about to uncover 10 hidden psychological triggers, what some might call weaknesses, that when understood and applied, can transform the way you connect with women. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about gaining insight into the deeper layers of human psychology and using that knowledge to create real, lasting attraction. Ready to rethink everything you thought you knew? Let's dive in. Number 1, the magnetic power of emotional certainty. Women are deeply emotional beings, but this doesn't mean they're irrational or unpredictable. Instead, their emotions are a powerful compass guiding their decisions, especially in relationships. One of the most profound yet often overlooked aspects of a woman's emotional world is her need for emotional certainty. This isn't just about fleeting passion or surface-level excitement. It's about the deep, grounding sense of security that comes from knowing she won't be left adrift when life gets stormy. A woman's heart is drawn to a man who radiates emotional stability, a man who remains unshaken even when chaos swirls around him. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about being a steady anchor in a world that often feels uncertain. A man who is reactive, moody, or overly dependent on her for emotional validation will inevitably push her away. Why? Because it signals instability, and instability is the enemy of trust. Women crave safety, and that safety is rooted in your ability to remain composed, confident, and in control of your emotions, no matter what life throws your way. Imagine this: if a woman feels like she has to constantly soothe your emotions or prop you up, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly, she's the one carrying the emotional weight, and you've become the fragile one. This reversal of roles is a surefire way to extinguish attraction. Women are naturally drawn to strength, not just physical strength, but emotional fortitude. They want a partner who can handle life's challenges with quiet confidence, not someone who crumbles under pressure. So, what does it mean to embody emotional certainty? It means when she's upset, you're the calm in her storm, not another wave of chaos. When things don't go as planned, you don't spiral into complaints or panic. You adapt and move forward. When challenges arise, you face them with a steady hand and a clear mind, showing her that you're capable of navigating life's ups and downs. A man who provides this kind of emotional certainty becomes more than just a partner. He becomes a safe haven. He's the one she can rely on when the world feels overwhelming. The one who makes her feel protected and cherished without even trying. And here's the secret. She may not even realize why she's drawn to you. It's not something she can always put into words, but she'll feel it in her bones. That's the power of emotional certainty. It's invisible yet irresistible. So, if you want to deepen your connection with a woman, don't just focus on grand gestures or surface-level charm. Cultivate the kind of inner strength that makes her feel safe, seen, and secure. Because when you can be her rock, you become the kind of man she'll never want to let go. Number 2, women are captivated by what they can't fully possess. There's a fascinating quirk of human psychology that drives so much of what we desire. Scarcity creates value. Think about it. Why do we covet rare gemstones, exclusive experiences, or limited edition items? It's not just about the object itself, it's about the thrill of pursuing something that feels just out of reach. And when it comes to attraction, women are no exception to this rule. Here's the intriguing truth. A woman's hidden weakness lies in her attraction to men she can't completely figure out or possess. Men who are overly available, overly eager, or too transparent in their feelings often lose their allure. Sure, she might appreciate the attention, but it won't ignite that deeper, more primal urge to chase. On the flip side, men who maintain a sense of mystery, independence, and emotional depth tap into something powerful, a woman's innate desire to bridge the gap between herself and the unknown. This doesn't mean women are drawn to indifference or neglect. It's far more nuanced than that. It's about the subconscious mind assigning higher value to what isn't easily understood or obtained. A man who is confident, self-assured, and not afraid to keep a part of himself reserved becomes irresistible. He becomes a puzzle she's eager to solve, a story she's desperate to unravel. So how can you harness this dynamic to your advantage? Don't always be available. Let her wonder when she'll see you next. Absence, when used wisely, can amplify. Desire, maintain your independence, have a life that excites you outside of her. A man with passions, goals, and a sense of purpose is magnetic. Reveal yourself gradually. Don't lay all your cards on the table at once. Let her discover layers of who you are over time. The moment a woman feels like she's completely won, the spark of pursuit begins to dim. But if you keep a part of yourself just beyond her grasp, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that reflects your self-worth and depth, she'll never lose that drive to chase. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding the dance of attraction and knowing that true connection thrives on a balance of closeness and mystery. In the end, the art of being just out of reach isn't about withholding. It's about being so compelling that she can't help but want to close the distance. Number 3, the magnetic pull of a deep voice and commanding presence. What if I told you that one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools for attraction is something you already possess? Your voice and the energy you exude. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it, and the silent confidence you project before you even speak. A deep, resonant voice paired with a commanding presence can be utterly irresistible, and there's science to back it up. Research shows that men with deeper voices are often perceived as more dominant, confident, and attractive. But this isn't just a modern-day preference. It's hardwired into our biology. A deep voice subtly signals high testosterone levels and strong leadership qualities, traits that women have been evolutionarily programmed to find appealing. It's as if your voice is whispering to her subconscious, I'm capable, I'm strong, and I can lead. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the voice. It's about the entire aura you project, your presence. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some men can walk into a room and instantly command attention without uttering a single word? That's presence. It's the quiet confidence that radiates from the way you carry yourself, the way you move, and the way you engage with the world around you. A man with a magnetic presence moves with intention. Every step is deliberate, every gesture purposeful. No fidgeting, no rushing, just calm, controlled energy, holds eye contact. His gaze is steady and confident, never darting away nervously. It's as if he's saying, I see you and I'm fully here. Speaks with weight. His words are measured, his tone unhurried. Each sentence feels like it carries meaning, as if he's choosing his words with care. On the flip side, a weak presence is often betrayed by small, unconscious cues, slouched posture, restless hands, a voice that wavers or trails off. These subtle signals scream insecurity, even if the man himself isn't aware of it. The truth is, women are incredibly perceptive when it comes to picking up on these nuances. They can sense confidence, or the lack of it, from a mile away. So if you want to captivate women effortlessly, it starts with mastering your presence. It's about cultivating an energy that draws people in, an aura that says, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I own this space. The stronger your presence, the more women will feel that magnetic pull toward you, often without you having to say a single word. It's not about being loud or flashy. It's about being grounded, confident, and utterly unshakable. And that, my friend, is a skill worth mastering. Number 4. The magnetic power of walking away. Why women are drawn to men who know their worth, want to tap into a psychological truth that can transform your relationships. It's simple. Walk away. Like you don't need her. This isn't about playing games or being cold. It's about understanding a fundamental aspect of human nature. People value what they fear losing, and women, like anyone else, are wired to respond to this dynamic. Here's the thing. Most men get it wrong. When they sense a woman pulling away, they panic. They chase, over-explain, and try to fix things, hoping to win her back. But what does this actually communicate? It screams, I need you more than you need me. And the moment a woman senses that imbalance, her attraction fades. Why? Because confidence is magnetic and desperation is a repellent. Now imagine a man who can walk away without hesitation. What does that say about him? It speaks volumes. It says, I know my worth. I'm not afraid to lose you because my happiness and self-respect don't depend on your approval. That kind of confidence is irresistible. It's not about being indifferent. It's about being secure in who you are. When a woman knows you're willing to walk away if she disrespects you, plays games, or pulls away, something shifts. She begins to see you as someone who values himself. Too much to settle for less than he deserves. And that's when she starts to value you more. It's not about manipulation. It's about setting boundaries and honoring your own self-respect. The lesson here is simple but profound. Be willing to walk away, and you'll never have to chase. When you embody this mindset, you become the kind of man who naturally commands respect and admiration. And that's the kind of man women can't resist. Number 5. A man with a mission is her ultimate weakness. Forget about chiseled jawlines, fat bank accounts, or smooth-talking charm. What truly captivates a woman is a man with a purpose. There's something undeniably magnetic about a man who's driven by a mission bigger than himself. Whether he's building an empire, perfecting a skill, or relentlessly pursuing a personal dream, a man with a clear sense of direction exudes a kind of energy that's impossible to ignore. Why does this work so well? Purpose breeds focus, discipline, and an unshakable sense of independence, qualities that are inherently attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in motion, men who are too busy creating their own world to sit around waiting for someone else to complete theirs. Here's where many men go wrong. They make the woman their mission. They put her on a pedestal, drop everything for her, and revolve their entire existence around her. But here's the ironic twist. This kind of behavior doesn't inspire attraction. It kills it. Why? Because no one wants to feel like they're the sole reason someone else exists. Women don't want to be your entire world. They want to be a part of yours. A man with a mission doesn't wait by the phone for her texts. He doesn't cancel his plans or abandon his goals just to accommodate her every whim. He's too busy chasing his vision, and that's exactly what makes him irresistible. His passion and drive create a gravitational pull that's hard to resist. So, here's the question you need to ask yourself. What's your mission? What are you building? What are you striving for? If you don't have an answer, women will sense it, and they won't stick around. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly. But a man with a mission, he's a force of nature, and that's the kind of man no woman can ignore. Find your purpose, chase it relentlessly, and watch as the right people, women included, naturally gravitate toward the energy you radiate. Number 6. The paradox of controlled vulnerability. Mastering the art of emotional depth. Vulnerability is a double-edged sword, and wielding it well is an art form. Too much and you risk appearing fragile, too little and you come across as distant or unapproachable. Women are drawn to men who understand this delicate dance, men who can reveal their humanity without sacrificing their strength. It's not about hiding your emotions. It's about sharing them with intention and purpose. A common misconception is that women want men to be emotionally expressive at all times. This couldn't be further from the truth. While women crave deep emotional connections, they are instinctively turned off by men who overshare, complain excessively, or seek constant validation. Emotional transparency is powerful, but only when it's balanced with self-assurance and restraint. The key lies in controlled vulnerability. You acknowledge your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. You share your struggles, but only after you've overcome them, framing them as lessons rather than burdens. You reveal pieces of yourself gradually, creating a sense of intrigue and trust over time. A man who masters this dynamic becomes magnetic. When he chooses to open up, it feels like a gift, a rare glimpse into his inner world that makes a woman feel special and trusted. But crucially, he never reveals himself from a place of desperation or weakness. Instead, his vulnerability is a testament to his strength, showing that he's secure enough to be authentic without losing his composure. On the flip side, a man who dumps his emotional baggage too soon or seeks constant reassurance comes across as needy and unstable. This kind of behavior shifts the balance, making the woman feel like she's carrying the weight of his emotions rather than sharing a connection. The most compelling men are those who treat their emotions like a deep, mysterious ocean, visible enough to inspire curiosity, but never so overwhelming that they drown the relationship. Women are irresistibly drawn to men who can navigate this paradox, strong enough to be vulnerable, but disciplined enough to do it in a way that enhances their presence rather than diminishing it. In the end, controlled vulnerability isn't about playing games. It's about understanding the power of emotional depth and using it to build genuine, lasting connections. It's about being a man who knows when to open up and when to hold back, creating a dynamic where both strength and sensitivity coexist in perfect harmony. Number 7. Women naturally test your strength. Here's how to rise to the challenge. Let's talk about something most men overlook. Women are wired to test your strength, often without even realizing it. These aren't random acts or mind games. They're deeply ingrained subconscious ways for women to gauge whether you're the kind of man who can handle life's pressures with confidence and poise. Think about it. She might challenge your opinions to see if you stand firm in your beliefs, create small conflicts to test your emotional stability, or even act disinterested to see if you'll crumble under insecurity. But here's the thing. These tests aren't about being difficult or manipulative. They're primal, instinctive filters designed to separate the strong from the weak. Why? Because strength, both emotional and mental, is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. If a woman senses that you're easily rattled, overly reactive, or emotionally fragile, her respect for you will inevitably fade. So what's the secret to passing these tests with flying colors? It's simple. Don't take the bait. When she challenges you, stay calm, grounded, and unshakable. If she questions your opinions, respond with confidence, not defensiveness. If she pulls away, resist the urge to chase her. Instead, let her come back on her own terms. A man who remains composed and self-assured in the face of these tests becomes the kind of man she can't replace. And here's the kicker. If a woman is testing you, it's actually a good sign. It means she's interested, invested, and trying to figure out if you're the real deal. The key is to recognize these moments for what they are, opportunities to show up as your strongest, most authentic self. So, the next time you feel tested, don't see it as a hurdle. See it as your chance to prove you're the kind of man who can handle anything and anyone that comes your way. Number 8, confidence in the face of rejection is magnetic. Most men fear rejection like it's the end of the world, but the rare few who face it with unshakable confidence, they're on another level. There's something undeniably attractive about a man who can handle rejection with grace, humor, and zero bitterness. When a man shrugs off a no with a smile, turns it into a joke, or simply walks away unfazed, it sends a powerful message. I know my worth, and it doesn't hinge on your approval. Think about it. Why does rejection sting so much for some? Guys, it's because they tie their self-worth to the outcome. They act like every no is a verdict on their value as a person. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't about you. It's about fit. It's about timing, preferences, or a million other factors you can't control. A confident man gets that. He doesn't see rejection as a failure. He sees it as a redirection. Picture this. You shoot your shot, and she's not interested. Instead of crumbling or scrambling to convince her otherwise, you flash a genuine smile, say, "No worries, your loss. Have an amazing day," and walk away with your head high. That kind of energy is irresistible. Why? Because it shows you're not desperate. You're not clinging to her approval like it's the only thing that matters. You're secure in who you are, and that kind of self-assurance is like a magnet. The real secret. Rejection only hurts if you let it. The pain doesn't come from the no itself. It comes from your attachment to the outcome. When you stop fearing rejection, something incredible happens. Women start sensing that confidence. They notice the guy who doesn't crumble under pressure, who doesn't need their validation to feel whole. And guess what? That's the guy they want to chase. So the next time you face rejection, don't let it dim your light. Own it, laugh it off, keep your energy high and your vibe unshakable. Because when you stop fearing rejection, you stop giving it power, and that's when you become truly unstoppable. Number 9. Women are captivated by men who keep them guessing. There's something undeniably magnetic about a man who isn't an open book. When a woman can't quite figure you out, it sparks her curiosity, and curiosity is the gateway to desire. If she always knows exactly how you feel or what you'll do next, the mystery fades, and with it, the excitement. This isn't about playing mind games or being emotionally unavailable. It's about maintaining a sense of intrigue that keeps her invested in uncovering more of who you are. Think about it. When everything is laid bare too soon, there's no room for imagination. And imagination is where attraction thrives. A man who's too predictable, always texting back instantly, pouring out his emotions prematurely, or constantly seeking validation, can come across as needy or insecure. While openness and vulnerability are important in a relationship, timing and balance are key. On the flip side, a high-value man understands the power of subtlety. He doesn't reveal everything at once. He's intentional about what he shares, when he shares it, and how he expresses himself. He responds when it feels right, not because he's chasing approval. His calm, composed demeanor creates an air of unpredictability that keeps her intrigued. This isn't about being aloof or distant. It's about being confident in your own rhythm. When a woman can't predict your next move, she's compelled to pay attention. She wonders what you're thinking, how you feel about her, and what you'll do next. That wondering turns into fascination, and fascination turns into attraction. The truth is, desire is fueled by the unknown. A man who can ignite a woman's imagination is a man she can't stop thinking about. By maintaining a sense of mystery, you're not just keeping her interested. You're showing her that you're someone worth pursuing, and in the dance of attraction, that's what makes all the difference. 10. The power of self-mastery. Why controlling your desires makes you unstoppable. What's the ultimate weakness many women have? They're irresistibly drawn to a man who has mastered himself. Think about it. Most men are slaves to their desires. They chase after women, seek validation, and let their impulses dictate their actions. But the men who truly hold power, they're the ones who've learned to control their desires rather than being controlled by them. Women are naturally attracted to men who don't chase mindlessly. They act with intention and choose wisely. Aren't desperate for intimacy. They set boundaries and maintain high standards. Exhibit self-discipline. They refuse to let temporary pleasures derail their long-term purpose. Here's the truth. The moment you stop chasing women is the moment they start chasing you. A man who can walk away, say no, and prioritize his mission over fleeting urges is a man who commands respect and admiration. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding the deeper psychology of attraction. Women are drawn to men who radiate strength, purpose, and self-respect. When you embody these qualities, you become more than just desirable. You become indispensable. Attraction isn't about gimmicks or tricks. It's about mastering yourself. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need validation because he's already grounded in his own worth. When you cultivate this level of self-mastery, you don't just attract women, you inspire them. They'll see you as a man of substance, someone who stands apart from the crowd. If this resonates with you, subscribe to Stoic Guide for more insights on mastering life, relationships, and the art of self-discipline. Remember, true power lies in control, not over others, but over yourself. Stay strong, stay focused, and never chase. The world and the right people will come to you.